Well, this
Good
is amazing.
morning.
We already have 5 people watching. Sorry for a little bit of delay. We realized as we got in, we're in the wrong StreamYard account. We have lots of things planned out. We went into the wrong session. So so
But paying $600 a year gets you confusion, you know?
exactly.
I was going to say, I saw this comment sitting over, even though I didn't think I'd see the comments because I'm not logged in properly, but the Bonehead podcast did a good video the other day.
Absolutely.
Hyping a bit of forth. Welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Who else we got? We got some other people too. So while we're putting a few of the comments up, do I hear a kookaburra in the background there, Matt? Are you weaving down under in the dark? What are you doing about that, mate? Koala bear. Apologies to anybody that's listening to that because I'm terrible. I'm terrible at accents. Ironically, being from the U.S.
Yeah, the blackness behind me is not a screen. It is the dark outside in Australia.
Yeah. And it's funny how that works. You listen to somebody's voice, and then you realize when you see them for the first time that they have a face for radio. So yeah. Glad if you could join us. We, Matt, we didn't do a podcast this week. Things fell in between the cracks, and we've got some for next week, but we just didn't have a chance. I'm just waiting for one of those big spiders to come over Matt's shoulder. It's just a matter of time, folks.
Well, it happened while I was driving yesterday.
Really?
Flipped the visor down, and this thing about this big just dropped straight onto my hand in the steering wheel. And I went,
Unbelievable.
Had to slow down, crawled away, and then the girls and I were trying to get it out of the car, but unsuccessfully. It was hiding well, so it's waiting in the car for me still.
That's awesome. Well, what we're going to do today is this is kind of an impromptu live stream. We'll do a couple things like normal. We'll talk about the hobby. We'll talk about some of the events we're going to. But Matt, you're not blind. I'm not blind. We've seen all the commentary and the rumors and the leaked images of the session they had at Clash of Kings UK, and we figured let's go through some of that stuff and maybe we'll give our all too early opinions on some of this stuff. We'll share what we got planned for 4th edition. I'll just say a lot of cool stuff coming starting next week. So, but before we get to all that, go ahead.
I don't think we can claim completely no inside baseball anymore, do we? Can we?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. But we're going to do our bet. Yeah, we will not divulge. We have strict rules here, so we won't divulge too much. So we need to start, Matt. What a shout out to Steve and the gang over at Clash of Kings. Oh. What a show, a pageantry, an event. Amazing stuff. Like really amazing stuff.
I had a bit of a chat to him, and he said, obviously with a bit of help and stuff, but all packed up and down and leaving the venue inside an hour at the end too.
What?
Amazing.
How many tables is that? Operation. There was 200 and how many players?
Yeah, 100 tables.
Like 200 players? That's crazy. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, and here's the lazy pirate himself. Awesome.
Steve Evans, which one of the two.
Yep. So we huge shout out to Steve. We're actually going to have Steve on, I think, next week, and it should drop next Wednesday. So we'll have an episode with Steve. So shout out to them.
Yeah, and I'll be interviewing Tom Robinson's agreed to come on. So again, so
fantastic. 196 players, dude. Anybody that thinks that Kings of War is not growing is let me back up. I don't think it's growing as fast as we would like, but let's not pretend we don't have a lot of players, right? I think certainly this is a good example of that. So, Well, what are you been doing,
I
Matt?
think with all the full stuff, the other thing that I've seen too is the amount of people that comment that we have no idea about. Do you know what I mean? There are obviously a lot of people, playing in their garage or in their local gaming groups. We don't want to assume that the tournament community is the only community. That's for sure.
Fair enough. That's a good it's a good assumption not to make, right? So what do you got though going on in Australia? What's the latest and greatest? So down under.
Well, I played a 2-day tournament last weekend. So that's the Abyss have been to 2 tournaments, Rob, undefeated. So
how many Berserker regiments do you have?
2 regiments and a horde.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And as I affectionately am calling the flaming prostate. So one of those. So they won an ambush tournament. And I think won every game, maybe 1 draw. But then on the weekend it was 3 wins, 2 draws at 1995. So
interesting.
A couple of changes to be made. I had some Abyssal Horsemen that I think underdid themselves, but that's what's been happening. And while I've been away here, I've been working on a Twilight Kin Champions box.
Awesome. Well, that's a good segue. We participated in the Memphis Comic Con over the weekend, which is a comic book convention, right? I love the fact you have nature behind you singing for us. It's amazing.
Yeah, just wait for it. I wonder what you'll see, to be honest. Yeah.
For sure. We are rough and rumble all the time. But we were at Memphis Comic Con last weekend, which is a comic book event. A lot of times things say something Comic Con, but they don't really mean Comic Con. They don't really mean comics. They mean pop culture. No, this one's a comic book convention. So Kevin Eastman was there, among many other luminaries and I'm sure everybody knows Kevin Eastman, one of the 2 guys that started Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the 80s. So we tried something different. We had a booth for the shop, and we just set it up, and it was just demos all the time. We had 40K, we had Age of Sigmar, we had Kings of War Champions, we had Corvus Belli's new War Crow, which is a skirmish fantasy game. We had Halo, and big shout out to the guys Will and company. They came in from Clarksville and did a great job. We got some comments here. Yeah, I mean, 200 people at any event's crazy. And Blood Bowl. I mean, Blood Bowl's awesome too. But yeah, so we had all these games, Halo, and then we also had MCP. So it was great. We had a full selection. And I was telling you a little while ago, it was really illuminating because I think I have some actual evidence now to say that the rules are important to more of the veteran players, but the new players that haven't, especially the ones that haven't played tabletop, it's all about the models, right? Like it's literally all about the aesthetic on the table. Because we had 3 different fantasy games with AOS, Kings of War Champions, and Warcrow, and for the new players, it was almost like, in spite of some of the more complex rule sets, they just love the models. So it's definitely going to change the way I demo the game now, I think. And really need. I mean, I've always sort of showcased the rules and say, hey, look, these rules are awesome. I think they come secondary to some of the new to most of the new players that are coming across our event tables. I don't know. What's been your experience of demoing Kings of War or Clash of Kings, or Champions or Ambush? I know you've got some experience on that too, right?
Yeah, I think it comes down to the group of players, right? You've either got people that have had the prior experience of rank and flank, and they can be drawn in by just the look of a lot of models on the table that you just don't see anymore. And then it's kind of like, oh, how does this play? And the fact that it's a lot smoother can work. But for new players who may not have done rank and flank or tabletop miniature gaming before, 100% it's about the models. So often it'll be something like the look of the halflings that draws them in, or something like that. But that's why, with the new stuff that we're seeing, we've got to see some high quality models, hopefully.
And for those that see him yawning, he's committed to the craft. It's 5 a.m. and he's out in the outback in the dark. Who knows what kind of monstrous snake or spider is going to come from behind and attack.
Yeah, look, 5 a.m. is not abnormal for me. So, yeah, but I'm not usually streaming from outside.
Fair enough.
So you will hear kookaburras and things.
That's amazing. You got any other events coming up?
Australian Masters is in November. So and we've got a 1-dayer in November, but that'll probably be it for the end of the year and probably it for 4th edition, to be honest. I'm just waiting to confirm.
3rd edition, even.
Sorry, for 3rd edition. Yeah. And then I think I'm just waiting for the confirmation of a 4th date, but it's very likely that we'll pivot the Australian Clash of Kings to 4th if we're likely to get the books, in a reasonable time.
Yeah, I mean, November, December, I mean, you should have enough time, potentially.
Yeah. If we can get them late November, then I think if that ended up being the timeline, then we'd definitely pivot.
Yeah. Well, for me, I've got Michigan GT coming up. I've been playing the Goblins lately a lot for like the last, all the way back to Adepticon. I've been playing the Goblins and slowly sort of changing the list. And what's really funny is the reason why I asked you about Berserkers is I have been playing the same opponent a couple times a week, and he is playing a filthy abyssal list. I mean, it's filthy, and it's not filthy for the reason you think. He does have 3 hordes of the Berserkers, but so I'm going to tell you what he's got in his list, and I'm going to let you figure out how this works. He's got the Well, right? Right, and he's got 3 Cronius. So basically, the Well absorbs all the stuff, all the damage coming up on the way in.
And
once they're in, the
Cronius
uses their attacks and their ability to heal other things to bring the Well back down, and it just recirculates. It is rough. It's rough, man. So to be fair, though, he's only got 15 units, right?
He needs to shoot you off. You need to shoot him off, sorry.
Oh, yeah. See, so we're thinking alike. So I have my list that I've been playing, which has got a lot of Luggets. In fact, I'll show you the new list, and I'll maybe walk through what is different. So this is the list that I'm actually going to be bringing to the Michigan GT. So it's got a Rabble Horde, obviously, for the unlocks. It's got a Sharpstick Horde for the unlocks. It used to be 2 Rabble Hordes, and I just found 15 points. I'll explain in a minute that the Sharpsticks, Phalanx is situational, but for 15 points, extra 5 attacks, Phalanx, it's come in useful a few times. And then it's got 3 troops of Luggets. It's got the legendary horde of Luggets, the Groggers Lug Lads. It's got the special Mogwaz cavalry unit, which is like the beast pack for the mob beasts. I've got 3 trombones because I am that guy. And then I was taking 3 mop-up launchers. But, man, against some matchups, the mop-up launchers, man, with no piercing, with indirect, I was like, oh. So I swapped one out for a sharpstick thrower. So I've got to paint up a sharpstick thrower for Michigan GT. And what the sharpstick thrower gives me, even though there's 1 less attack, and it does take cover, whereas the mop-up launcher doesn't take obscured, the piercing, too, is sometimes money, right? Like, when you need to hit, it's like, oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, Blake's here. Awesome. So Blake is the man behind many things, but in this situation, the Michigan GT. So he's going to be running the event at the Michigan GT. So super excited about that. And I assume he'll be bringing the Mantic booth with him as well. So, yeah, so I've been enjoying having, and I just noticed I take this down. So, yeah, I've been enjoying the sharp stick. And then I've got 2 Wingets because if you're going to lean into the filth, right? Now, I have to ask you, Matt, I don't understand why Sharpstick Thrower has Lobber, but I'll take it so I can reroll my 1s when I'm rolling against the guy that's been marked for death. So, yeah, it's a good, and we're joined by Kyle P, so it's a good comment to have here. I'm
assuming he means he's going to be sharing a lot about 4th edition.
Correct. And just like
STIs or something.
Just like over the past few years, Michigan GT has been an event where we're close to a Clash of Kings book being dropped. Correct. Matt. So everybody listening, Matt's head is always in the gutter.
Yeah. Speaking of which, have you seen the awesome post from Kyle about where would you sit on the plane?
Yes, and I have a bone to pick with Kyle. He put me in the corner next to Mark. I'm like, who's gonna pick me now? Come on. Really?
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
No, I got to be right in the middle. Come on, man. That's okay. It's okay. I'm not bitter or anything. But yeah, so I've got the 2 Wingets, and then a Flaget with the Diadem and Dragon Cannon. But shout out to Kyle Poole. He wrote most of the list. I've made a couple tweaks, but this is his filthy inspiration. Grub Longnail. Let me just tell you, Grub Longnail is the hero in that list because so I've been playing this Abyssal player.
Yeah, literally
right?
says it, mate. Hero infantry.
Okay, all right. I get it. But listen, so this Abyssal player has the proverbial, the required seductress with the gnome glass shield, right? Period, right? This guy punks her to the point where now she doesn't want to be anywhere within 12 inches of him because she doesn't want to get punked. Because the four attacks hitting on 3s with blast, yes, I'm hitting on 4s, but I have crushing 1. I'm probably going to ground her, and I'm probably going to break the shield in 1 turn. And then when her returns back, I also have ensnare, and you're weak. So he's been great. I guess it's just she, actually. She's been great.
Yeah,
I've been loving her a lot.
Yeah, I think up she, right?
Yeah. And then I got a king on a chariot. This is the guy that I'm not sure about, but man, the fact you can reach out and touch somebody 18 inches if you have to.
A king on a chariot. They're amazing.
Well, okay. But the shooting is what I like. I like the shooting, especially against this Abyssal player that I've been playing often. Because I'm like, here's 7 shots on 4s, and I got piercing 1 against those berserkers. And then I've got the formation, because any good goblin player right now, if they don't have the formation, what are you doing? What are you doing? Give me 2 regiments of sharp sticks with phalanx. We'll tack on ensnare. And God bless you if you know the mincer mob with defense 6 and ensnare. And I gave him the skirmisher boots because I am that guy. So I'm off on the flank, and all of a sudden they're like smashing in the side. So it's been a fun list. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
I think give some goblins for 4th, actually, because I picked up the champions box for them.
Champions. I actually been playing the champions box. I like them a lot. They're in champions. I had been playing Battalion, and Battalion are fine. They're just sort of they're that defensive counter-punching army, right? So it's been interesting. Well, I know we're going to get to the 4th ramble in a minute. Hobby-wise, what have you been up to? I mean, I'm assuming you didn't bring your paints out to the Outback.
No, I did. Yeah. I take my paints everywhere. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Do you have a little table set up, and you're doing
Yeah. Nah, I'm not really in the Outback. I'm down the beach. You can hear the kookaburras kicking off.
Was that beach? Was that? I didn't understand the English there. Was that beach? You said?
Yeah, beach.
Okay.
Beach. No. So I've got some base coats on the Twilight Kin Champions box. So that's what I'm working on, because I finished enough of the Abyss to meet my hobby challenge commitments. So I'm just waiting for I would need to see the 4th book, and then I'm going to have December to pump out that 1,000 points, because now I'm like, I've got to do the 1,000. That's my last challenge thing. And then I'm going to have to rush to the end.
Why you got to rub it in, bro?
I beat you, mofos.
Why do you have to rub it in so often? It's like, I'm going to have to find a way.
I'm going to start a campaign for Kyle to come to Australia for Clash with Ronnie. Ronnie's got to bring him.
That would be good.
If he really valued his employees, he'd bring him.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't value them. He doesn't take them anywhere, right?
Yeah. Dead.
So on my end, hobby, on the actual painting and hobby front, it's been very limited. I will say, the 3D printer at work has been doing some work, like some legitimate work, yes. Right? So the first thing, I'll show you in a minute. I've been working on this thing that I've called, and don't worry, Kyle, we will bring it up as often as we can as well.
I can be incessant.
Correct. Not annoying, though. You're not crossing that line.
Never.
But so I've been using the 3D printer at work. It's an older Prusa, like MK3 Plus S, and it's like 7 years old. It's slow as dirt, but it prints pretty good. And for I've got to do a chariot for the Michigan GT, and I don't know how well it's going to come in, but I just took a file from and I just made the base. It's all I did was take the thing and cut it. Now I will probably still, if you guys aren't, by the way, if you're not using War Chest Creations bases that come with the magnets and they're already pre-drilled in, what are you doing? Like literally, like what are you doing? But yeah, I'll probably. It's pretty thick. I think it probably could work with just leave it alone. My only concern is this is PLA, so I have a feeling it's gonna warp. So
it could, or get a bit too hot, it'll melt.
Yeah, for sure. Steve, we would love, or I would love to come to UK Clash. My big thing is I just do change jobs. So this year was not in the cards, but it is certainly on my radar to come to Clash next year. There you go. So he's going to Clash of Kings UK with the other 200 people. So that's one of the things I've been printing. But Matt, I know I have been insistently sharing with you the progress on this. I'm calling it the command center that I have created, and I will share a couple of pictures of it, and I'll show you the actual. I finished it, Matt. So I've got the final design. It's locked in. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Resin is very susceptible to heat, and I know that all too well. Hey, from West Canada.
Hey, Paul.
Awesome. Hey, Paul.
I've been while you bring up those pictures, I've been getting the trophies ready for Clash on the printer, and I've been taking things from the Vault or the My Mini Factory campaign, mostly the Vanguard models, and I've been doing 15 centimeter versions for trophies. Well, that's almost 6 inches for the only weirdos in the world that use Imperial. So they're coming out really nice.
Talking about trophies, PLA printers, right? So I went ahead and printed the
oh yes, this is what we
had the sculpt. Somebody had a sculpt made of Jesse, right? So I'm going to use this as one of our events coming up as the sportsmanship trophy. So good. I was learning how to do it. It hasn't been cleaned up or anything, but really, I mean, the printer's old, but it took forever to print, but it's pretty good. But what you can see on the screen is this command center that I've created. Let's go over here. This is what it looks like. So there's a bunch of different trays, and while that's on there, I'll just turn that off for a second, and I will show you. Hopefully this comes up. I don't know how well it's going to come up, but this is what it looks like. Hopefully you guys can see that. Actually, let me go to media assets here.
Ooh, let there be light, Rob. Yeah,
for sure. So this is what it looks like. Basically, unsurprisingly, it's all magnetized. And maybe I'll just go over the tray. So this is just a tray that I'm holding. These are G10 spin down dice, which are actually used for Magic.
My G10 spin down.
Yeah.
Dice.
So I made you a tray. We have a tray that's exactly will hold 24 dice and all the right racks to hold perfectly the right amount. Good. So it's like perfect. And then the second one, maybe I should say why I'm doing this. We all have those widgets trays, which are amazing, but it doesn't hold dice. It doesn't hold a tape measure. It doesn't hold a laser pointer. It doesn't hold wound stuff. And I was like, so this is the result. So the next one's just dice. I got my dice, got my tape measure. I got laser pointer, and I've got some magnetic stuff, which I'll show you in a minute what that's for. Then we've got just a generic tray that holds different flat tokens, right? This is all designed for like 1/8 inch, either acrylic or MDF, and I know it's terrible. I'll have to post some pictures of it. Then we have everybody's favorite, just going to hold all the token tray, right? The classic round ones. And then so what I did was we all have those widget trays with all these great measuring sticks. So I just made my own tray for them. The only thing is, Matt, I know the widget sets we have up to 12 inches, but because I have a tape measure and I didn't want to have a 14-inch long widget set, I actually just stopped it at the 8-inch tray. And then the top one, man, I think this is cool. So we'll see if people can see it. But essentially, if I can put it here, there's one of these over here, which has got a little, I guess over here, which has a little arrow for up. And you either put it there or over there to mark which player has the top of the turn. And then there's obviously, and you got this. So this person went first, and he's first, second, third, right? And then down here you have progressive scoring, right, up to 15 points, and it's all magnetized. Yeah, so it came out pretty cool. So yeah, anyways, what I'm doing now is I've drawn out the sticks, and I'm going to laser cut some sticks. So because I think because the other thing that like that widget set the tools had on this one is it also has, Blake's on the line, so that's cool. Blake gave us one of these things a few years ago, so I designed that to be in here as well, because why not have a little small arc of sight thing in there? So this is taking up a lot of time. I'll just tell you that. I wasted a lot of time on this. But
yes, you have. We've seen many versions of this.
This is like version 6. Been version 6. So anyways, I don't know, Matt.
Yeah. I'm just while you're doing that, I'm looking at the comments with Paul suggesting a streaming team and things like that. And I was like, a streaming team? Yeah, that'd be interesting. What are we going to be called? Like the Golden Showers or something? And then I saw his head's gone there anyway. Like though how it's probably interrupted streams.
Yeah, I'm behind on the comments. Yeah, I'm very behind on the comments.
No, that's looking slick, mate. You've done a lot of work on it. Good on you. Yeah. I'm looking forward to giving it, pumping it out on the bamboo and seeing how long it takes.
100%. Yeah. Mike is printing it on his bamboo whatever it is. And the one thing is the old Prusa doesn't have the fidelity. So like where I put the logo and my name in the top, it's not great, but it works. And the magnets are N52 6mm magnets, which is it's been great. It's been holding pretty good. So let's see. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll have it at Michigan GT. You guys will. And the thing I didn't even show people is you take the trays apart, but it literally becomes a command center. It like lays out on the table with all so on the side of the table, it's 8 inches wide, and along the edge, if you have the room at the tournament, you can literally lay out all your tokens and your score tracker. It's all there, and it makes everything accessible. And as things need to be put back, it's all available. So, yeah. With that, Matt, is it time to jump into a little fourth edition chat?
That out long enough.
Yeah, I mean, we wasted 26 minutes. People are already cutting out. Look at this. So what we're going to share tonight is we've kind of scoured the internet for rumors and some illicit photographs taken, like probably like those Ray-Ban sunglasses that people can't tell that you're taking sunglasses on. So we've done that, and I just figured we should start with this picture because there's been a lot of discussion on this picture.
Steve's been good at poking a bit of discussion on this picture, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's poking the beast in the mouth, if you will. So I figured we just take a look at it, and what are our thoughts here? I mean, obviously this looks like an army, which is very nondescript in the sense of it's not a lot of it's red, right? Obviously it's got an Asian theme. It looks like by the boats and the sails, right? And they're obviously fighting the Trident realms. So I don't know when you see that, what do you think? What is this conveying to you?
Well, the thing is like you said, that there's a theme there, right? Which is likely, and for those of you that have read the fluff, there is discussion about the corner of the world that this army would likely come from. That could be something like it. The potentially the salamanders, but I think we're meant to be getting some hints here about the new army. We can see some guesses here because the army is mentioned a couple of times in the fluff, isn't it, Rob?
It is.
And I think one thing I've seen a lot of concern about is I hope this isn't the not Cathay army, from Mantic. I can tell you this army's been planned for a long time. A long time.
It's been in the works over a year at this point.
Yeah. Well over a year, and it's not Cathay. I mean, I think Eastern armies are a fairly decent trope in fantasy gaming, aren't they? So, but this is not Cathay army, that's for sure. But
yeah.
I
love it. I love the scene, though. I mean, obviously, I'm getting the sense of I'm looking at this picture. It's absolutely an invasion force, right? Like here they come. It's almost like Higgins boats or something. D-Day.
I want that Trident Realms model on the table, not just in Armada.
Oh, it's available to print, right?
True.
Why can't we print it? Now, one of the things. So, if it is an interesting guess, when I look at this, it does definitely convey Eastern, right? Or Western, excuse me. Well, I guess it depends on which side of the globe you're on.
Yeah, Ophidia's always meant to have been that more.
But, I mean, it definitely had.
I'm getting a bit of freezing at you there, Rob. I'm not sure if that's just me.
There we go. Must have hit a little internet lag or something. But I get this impression that this definitely is Asian thing, but I'm just wondering. I'm assuming it's coming from off to the right on the map that really hasn't been discussed very much. What are your thoughts of where this army is coming?
Yeah. I think Ophidia for me has always meant to have not the Far East vibe,
Right.
but it's been probably leaning towards the more my thoughts from the fluff in the past have been more the Middle East kind of Persian vibe more than anything. Is that your read of the fluff generally with
100%.
Ophidia?
Yeah. Ophidia is down by the Cracklands, I thought, because they were they were fighting the fight during like the Ammonites and all that. I that's my assumption. So I think not only are we getting a new army, I think it's coming from a region of Panathor that we haven't really had much physical models, artwork, aesthetic coming out.
I can see what have to forgive me. Even though I watched the video the other day, I'm not sure of the Bonehead podcast's first name.
It's true. It's true. Ronnie did actually hack us for sure.
It does. If you zoom in, the some of those models do have a salamandery feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the one that's going around the internet, isn't it? That zoom in, But I think you'll find it's not.
Let's see. Let's look at. So we got Steve made a comment. Let's take a look at this. I guess this one. Is he saying there's something to be taken from this? I don't know. This guy looks like a sea monster. Looks like a sea monster to me.
Well, interestingly, to me, that looks like, I think it's made it look a bit more sea monstery and octopusy, but like, what if that was hair down the outside? What would that look like then instead of
some kind of beast, like a knoll maybe or something?
Potentially. That's the way I'd look at that, is maybe don't look at the shape, but potentially think of that as having the potential maybe to be a bit of hair.
So interesting comment about not salamanders. We actually, let me take this down for a second. We actually have a comment about salamanders. All right, so let's bring this back up. So we also scrubbed the internet and we found this comment that, and take it for a grain of salt. These are all rumors. Ronnie said those are going to be the first army that's fully available as STL. So a digital refresh only with print. Which
makes sense.
I guess what I'm saying is
3/4 of it is resonant.
It's almost all available now, except for the hard plastic. So I guess what I'm saying is I don't think that's salamanders. Right? I don't think it's salamanders.
No, they're not gonna. Their primary model straight up is not going to be. Their primary army straight up is not going to be an STL range. It's going to have. It's going to have hard plastic.
It says lionfish on that face, right? Like I agree that this face over here does kind of look like. I was thinking like deep sea fish, anglerfish, something.
I think he said lionish. Lionish.
Yeah. Oh, lionish.
Not lionfish.
Okay, not lionfish for sure. Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't really care what it is. When it comes out, I'm probably going to be the first. I'm going to buy the army. I'm going to put it. It just,
100%.
I like. And by the way, what is this? Is this a Kraken? What is this? Is this a giant? It's a Kraken, right?
Has to be the Kraken.
Yeah, but they don't make a Kraken model, do they? Well, I mean, they make a Kraken model,
they do, don't they?
But like not the.
Oh no, they don't. Yeah. Not
well, they make a Kraken, right? But it's the. What's the model that I'm thinking of?
Looks like it's cracking that ship apart.
Yeah, it's cracking that ship apart. Oh, puns. By the way, look how beautiful Australia is at 6 a.m. in the morning or whatever it is.
I was hoping there might be some ruse or something so we could give you guys a real treat. But...
Is this your summer home? What is this? Winter home? What is this?
I wish, mate. No. It's Jess's birthday a couple of days ago, so we just came down to the coast into a little place down here. It's pretty nice, though.
Yeah. Well, let's get in. So someone illicitly shared some photos. So I figured, you know what? Let's just take a look. Yeah, look and see what we got and give our all too early. Yeah, and I
love that. Like Alessio is back was put as like
it's a positive thing. That's like an improvement, right?
How long ago did they acquire River Horse? Now,
a long time. Well, I don't know of a long time, but yeah, it's been a minute, right? So, so we see again, Matt. We need to get to Clash of Kings UK because they get all the access.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm so glad that we're seeing things like this, like just flesh that range out.
Yeah. Do you think it's risky for a niche army? Well, you know what? My 2 cents here is that I think Mantic needs to lean into Mantic, and niche armies that are non-classical tropes is probably the way to go. Because if you don't, I mean, we're already hearing it like, oh, that's just a Cathay knockoff, right? It's like, I think when you do I don't want to say cliche, but classically fantasy driven trope, whether it's based on token or whatever, I just think, like, for example, if they would have came up with a whole new elf range, I don't know how much mileage are they getting. I don't know, Matt. What are your thoughts? I think going in real hard into a specific IP army that's different than other things, because they've done really well with the Night Stalkers, for example, right? Really well with Trident Realms. Man, those birds are screeching back there. I love it.
Yeah. I think it's a really good question. I would say from a sales perspective, it might make more sense to lean into a trope, but I think Mantic's very much trying to leave that trope world behind, and so it wouldn't be a very Mantic decision, I think, to lead in with the trope army. And so I think they're kind of going for, they are nice, Paul. They are trying to go with something that will definitively be their own, and I love that. Yeah. The other thing I want to say about this slide, Rob, is surely there's a new picture of the two of these blokes.
I know. This is
Ronnie's
like
got a full head of hair,
like 2010 or something.
He's
right?
a brunette.
I mean, yeah, he doesn't have any. Where's you know what I will say something here. I have been looking through old pictures, and I had some classic Ronnie pictures, which I will put on our Facebook page. I will put them on where I actually saw him play a game at Kings of War. So at Adepticon over 10 years ago. So yeah, it's been a while. So he looks a lot different. But again, this has got to be when they were playtesting the game for the first time, because they both look so young, right?
Yeah, surely. Yeah, for sure. And
so,
we should say we'll be talking to the great man, and not too long. Meaning Alessio, not Ronnie.
We'll just spill the beans. We'll be talking with Alessio and Matt Gilbert next week. So very excited about that. Obviously, love the fact that Matt's coming on, because I really want to talk about this lore, this narrative arc that they potentially have set up for 4th edition. And obviously, Matt, I'm really interested to hear Alessio's take on coming back to a game that he developed a while ago. So he did 1st, he did 2nd, he kind of didn't have anything to do with 3rd, and now he's coming back to the fold. And I'm just curious how, number one, how he views it differently than say a bolt action, which he's been involved with all the editions, right? Or his take on things are a lot different than back in 2015 when we launched 2nd edition, right? Like, industry's changed a lot, really been moving away from, the larger footprint, the larger mass combat games, ranks and flanks in particular. We've been having that discussion often, Matt. Like, there's obviously Song of Ice and Fire, and there's Parabellum's game. So, yeah, I super excited. Yeah. See, and this is a good point that we were trying to make, is that, yes, I'm sure a lot of times in the world, when you invent something, design something, 2 people can design things in parallel without the other knowing what the other is doing. And I think that's just a case of where it is. That being said, this is a very different army than Cathay, right?
Yeah.
Aesthetically, it's very different. So I'm excited to see it unveiled. Yeah. So everything else on here, I mean, the more fluid movement, I've seen some talk about, being able to kind of wrap around the sides, and there's definitely a lot of movement stuff going on. I assume
some of this is gonna how this changes the game already on Fanatics and stuff is already doing my head in. I'm like,
oh yeah,
how about we see the whole rulebook first? But we've been hinting for a while. If you want some hints on, potential mechanics, there's a not that long ago released game that you could be looking at.
Well, you're talking about champions, and that last point on here,
Mm.
all heroes move to a 40 or a 50. That's
Mm.
exactly champions, right? Bloody Cardinal in the Forces of the Abyss box is on a 50, right? Alanis.
Yeah,
By the way, I'm curious with the character called Alanis in, or Alanis, I don't know the pronunciation. I don't want. Oh God, let's not start a whole thing. But with her being in the Battalion, any potential that maybe they named her after Alanis Morissette? I don't know. What are your thoughts? I just had that epiphany at the Michigan GT as I was explaining. I said, "Oh, this is Alanis," and they said, "Alanis," you know, like they brought it up. I was like, "Huh, I never thought about that." But
yeah. I can't say that's entered my mind.
Yeah, Paul, you're bringing up something that's very important. Whatever they do, I just want it to be cleaner, simpler, and get rid of anything that's an edge case that's really or confusing people. I don't mind change if it's done for the sake of the game. Complexity for the sake of complexity is not what I need or in my life. But.
No, well, I was rereading the Champions book this weekend, and it is streamlined and sleek, isn't it?
It is. And I've been enjoying
nice.
Champions. We've been playing the crap out of it, and I will say, and I'll say this again, and some people won't like it, I wouldn't play it competitively. At least some of the scenarios. The one with the portals where you go through the portal and now I'm in the rear of the unit, like it's bad news, right?
It's also not how it was designed, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think the move to 40s and 50s is a good thing. Honestly, I think there was a post on Fanatics like, why would you do this? Well, I mean, if you have an aura, now your base is much bigger. But I think by having them on this size base, I don't know this. This is just me guessing. I think individuals are gone, and I would love that because that's like one of the sloppiest set of rules. They've had to have all these edge cases like you can't take your free reform to gain advantage into terrain for line of sight purposes to charge. There's all this stuff that we've had to do because of the way individuals break the rules. So if it's gone and a hero is just another unit, more power to it. Yeah. I will say, Ed, I'm a big fan of 10mm Kings of War. I've been playing that for a little while. I will, it's on our countercharge page. By the way, Matt, it's really funny. I have been looking recently at what folks have been actually streaming from our website, which episodes, and I don't know who it is, but someone has gotten the army review bug. And like they started with like the main directory army reviews, and they have been hitting all of them, going way back like 8 years. And I'm just like, I wonder who that is.
Yeah, it's interesting. I saw someone post a question about the Ogre Army review, which we're hoping to get before the close.
It's not going to happen. Let's be honest.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but I will tell you, Nathan had a good suggestion among other people that maybe once we kind of know what's going on, we can do maybe an episode where we do a lot of little 15-minute bite-sized reviews, really just describing what's changed. But I will tell you, Mantic has done a very good job for 4th edition's launch. It is, from a media perspective, they have their act together, and you're going to see a lot of content coming out from us and other people, And on our end, Matt, I'm going to toot our own horns. We're going to be ready. We're ready to roll. I'm excited.
No, I love it.
I'm excited at what's going to start. And as that first picture showed, it's going to start next week. You're going to start to see the drum beats.
Yeah. Speaking of the reviews, probably should just acknowledge the old the last Rackin Slaves review.
We didn't know it was going to kill the army. Is that what you're or are you talking about something else?
No, just talking about my audio. Oh, it sounded like I was talking underwater. There was some. I don't know why it wasn't there during recording or during editing, but there was this little squeal in the background. So Rob had to save the audio by passing it.
And it's. I think John Paul said it sounded like you're in a kiln, and I'm like, I wonder if Matt's wife sometimes wants him to be in a kiln. I don't know. Hopefully, when it's turned off and not firing.
Yeah.
Steve brings up a good point too. I think with this changes, I think it'll be an opportunity to get some of those characters separately, especially for the ones that you already have the plastic models. Oh gosh, there we go.
I should try it. Just got it. I just got a new GoPro, so can give it a crack.
Well, let's jump to the next slide we've got, which is about game size. I think ambush 1,000 points or less. I mean, right now it's what 995 or less, so I don't think there's much change there. I'm not sure what 1 battalion plus restrictions. Maybe they're not talking like a formation anymore. Maybe it's called a battalion that comes in the ambush box.
Yeah, I think this is a big hint about the change to list building, Rob. This idea of unlocking certain things by having, for whatever reason, I think there might be a reference to battalions there. I'm not sure if the battalions quite make sense with how they do it, but I would imagine that's what they're alluding to. So no more of just spam the shit out of whatever you want.
Yeah. It's interesting because currently I don't think I would want to play a game of 3,000 points. 20 years ago with Warhammer, yes, we would play the really big games, 30 points, 1,000 points aside, but we'd play like 3 turns and we would be done for the day. Like we wouldn't, we could never finish it. So it'll be interesting to see if the rules are streamlined enough to actually, I think Mantic's made already in 3.5, it's already a fast enough game, but I just wonder if they've even found more improvements to make,
I love big games. And I think another thing there about the list building, Rob, is that with the hint there is that extra warlord per battalion. So, it looks like there'll be, some sort of mechanism surrounding that, doesn't it?
Steve, I'm just going to blame Matt. He was in charge of the Ratkin Army review. So, I think.
Sorry, Steve, literally, because that one was done under duress. It was for the people I could access.
Quickly without the time. Yeah, I mean, we should say we've got Ronnie and Matt on next week, and it's a
your turn
time.
To do 5 a.m.
Yeah,
I'm going
for sure.
from 5 a.m. to the other end of the day.
Yeah, now you're at evening, and they got those guys in the middle. Blake is such a crazy person. So he runs with his son Kyle the big games at events like Gen Con, Adepticon, and then he's painted 30,000 points aside. Right? I think it's Nature and Trident Realms maybe against Abyss and Abyssal Dwarves. So yeah, it's if you've ever go to an event that Blake is running that game, fantastic. Yeah, and 25,000 points. Blake, you have to chime in the chat here. How many points do you have painted for those armies? Because it's crazy. It's crazy. We had them bring it down to NashCon a few years ago. So I don't know. I think this is interesting that I wonder if they're inferring that just like Ambush and regular Kings of War, there's slightly different tweaks. If that we're going to get the same tweaks with legendary games might, sort of pull off all the training wheels and just make it, whatever, bring everything. And you see that extra warlord per battalion. That's saying something. I'm not sure what that though. Yeah. Well, should we jump to the next one, which I think is about actual army size?
Let's keep going.
So army building. Let me zoom in here a little bit. So armies built using battalion structures. Now, the next line, core, auxiliary, specialist, support, and commander types. And then commanders are split into champions and warlords. I guess that's just kings and princes or, right? Something along those lines.
Do you know what I just realized that probably means?
What?
The death of Hero.
Oh.
Because there'll be no
I don't have a beer to pour it out for my homie, but yes, you're right.
There'll be just a champion and warlord designation instead. Hero will be no more.
So that'll be hero champion or champion hero. What?
Yeah.
Or will he be a warlord?
Hero.
No, it won't be a warlord because he's cheap, right? He'll be he'll be a hero champion. I'll be disappointed if they change his actual name from hero. I think it's cool. It is interesting though, because it sounds like the commanders that you pick will change the unlocking, right? By either change it, I guess when the ones here is just also it can change the unit type. So maybe this is sort of similar to the way some heroes today make things make things regular that were irregular. I'm thinking of what Firebrand and the Salamander list that makes the Corsairs regular. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, we got confirmation. Hero is not dead. So Hero, but Hero is dead. But long live Hero Warlord or Hero he's got to be Hero Champion, right?
Surely.
Certainly. Oh, sorry. I went out of order here. Yeah. So yeah, he's got a bunch. He's got undead, dwarves, and goblins and dwarves now. So he's always Blake and his I don't know what to call it, but his son Kyle has to paint a lot of stuff. Yeah, potentially, right?
It's basically confirming what we thought, isn't it, about this this idea of
does she want to jump on the chat? She's there. You want to jump?
She will jump on soon. I'm very sure of it.
Yeah. For sure, I think all this means is that we are probably going to see maybe a little bit more complex. And to be fair, I think the more complexity is needed in this area because right now I don't like the way unlocks work. I also don't like a horde gives you 4 irregular units, right? I just I don't know because you treat them like troops. So
and I think that bottom point there is confirming the point that like it's going to be like a champion or something that unlocks these theme armies, right?
Yeah. Does she want to come on? You just need to make your pig noises and stuff. She appreciates those.
They would come on if they were more appropriately clothed.
I see. Well, you are in the outback. You just have a loincloth. You should run around a loincloth. We don't want to get the
no. These two aren't big fans of clothing.
Well. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how this shapes up because I think this for me is the one area that I think there was the most opportunity for improvement in the game because I know we've seen all the posts about spam, right, and just just something that forces attacks, right, or just forces people to. Well, let me say it like this: we don't all have the same level of self-restraint.
No, like Americans, basically.
Yeah. And I'll just tell you, the guy that lives in the trailer down by the river, George O'Connell. I mean, how many Berserker units did he have? I don't know. Was it 8? I don't know. It was a lot.
I know there's some people in the community that won't like it because it does something to their collections, but I think overall it will be a really positive change for gaming.
Well,
is that
just play legendary games and you're fine, right? I think you can just play legendary games. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. Let's keep plugging through these.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, combat phase. Okay, this was the one that I was really speculating on because in Champions you can only have one unit per facing. Yeah. And this one now says a max of 2 units engaged per facing. I don't know that makes much difference, if I'm being honest. Like, because if you had 3, that probably means you had a character or something small in there. So, and to be fair, if they're really going to hit you, 2 is probably going to be enough anyways if you send the right 2 in. What are your thoughts on that change?
Yeah, I think it's good, and I think people have to remember that it's the whole double and triple. I think is likely to not be the same as what we know it now too. I think it's hard to predict without seeing the entirety whether it has any effect at all. Because the other thing is when you're tripling or something like that, you're also taking a big risk. If you snake eyes that bad boy, then there's it's just like the whole angst about playing without something like withdraw. It limits your options. No, it just changes how you play the game in its entirety. So you can't simplistically say this is better or worse because it will literally change how you tactically play on the tabletop. So
Ed has a comment, does this help heavy infantry? I mean, I guess theoretically heavy infantry have a wider, what are they, 250 millimeters wide?
It helps them survive, I guess. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you would potentially get hit by less.
If heavy infantry still exists, I guess.
Well, I didn't put a picture in here, but I did see confirmation, and Kyle probably can confirm this. The only thing changing base sizes is the heroes. Everything else is not changing. Now,
Yes, sorry.
But I guess
As
potentially
in
they
from an
can just say
actual
something's
size
no
point of
longer
view,
heavy.
not from a
Yeah.
game structure point of view.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they're gonna go, well, yeah, but they're not heavy infantry anymore. So so they're based. Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, my comment certainly wasn't inside baseball on the heavy infantry thing. So
yeah.
I just it was just a thing because a lot of people complain about heavy infantry as a size in general, right?
Well, it is problematic, right? Because I don't think they necessarily have the right amount of attacks to justify the extra frontage. That being said, I mean, we'll just jump ahead a little bit. We got this reform thing, and I love and well, we'll skip reform, come back to that. But when engaged with multiple enemy units, a unit can split its attack between them as it wishes. So that's interesting. So if you get charged by 2 units in the past, you had to pick one and just know you're going to take another punch in the face from this other unit. And now
you
could split it. Yeah. So if you had so I guess where I see this go is that if you send stuff in, you better make sure they're not going to be easy targets. Because if you got a guy that's heavily damaged, well, then I'll just throw like a few attacks just to cause the nerve test on you and put the rest of them on the fresh unit. So,
well, this makes kind of thematic sense, right? So imagine you've got your big dirty horde of infantry and someone just, sends in 2 little regiments of snow foxes, right? Well, thematically, you'd imagine that the horde could take out both units at once if it wanted to. So I think this is great.
Yeah. But let's go back to this reform. And then we'll obviously get to the question, the elephant in the room, that what about countercharge not being a thing? We'll talk about that in a minute. But reform allows a unit to reposition in combat and can be part of a multiple charge. Okay, that's interesting. I don't even know, in my head, I don't even really understand what they're saying there, other than I guess if you're engaged and you've been charged on the counter attack, we won't call it counter charge, I guess you could reposition. But the second point, reform can allow a unit to wrap around into another facing. That is interesting. Back in Warhammer Fantasy, we had lapping around, I think, where you could send some individual models to the side. So that's interesting because I think if you had 2 units in the front and one could reform, for example, send them to the side and now let a fresh one come in, I think, you'd be doomed, right? So that's interesting. Now, countercharge not being a thing anymore. I have seen that. So does that? So maybe the rule itself isn't named like that, but I like the ability to punch anybody else that is charging me. I think that's just I like that rule. What it's called. Yeah.
And then there's a big hint for at the bottom of that slide, isn't there, Rob, about whether a key mechanic was going away.
We are doomed. Take extra damage. So
Snake Eyes remains.
Yeah, I'm glad. I like Snake Eyes. I mean, in my game last night, it came up, right? It actually, I got a draw of it. I would have had a win if I wouldn't have, but that's fine. Oh, I didn't say it right. Doomed. Yeah. Paul's talking about the reform here. I think if it prevents you from shifting over, that will remove a little bit of the movement management of my enemy units. Fair enough.
I think a lot of these changes are about removing, minutia of movement management. So I think, that's potentially a good thing.
Yeah. Well, let's keep going because I know we've been at this a while. We got the range phase. So, Matt, it doesn't say it, but you know what that first line's telling you.
Oh, yes. I was always right about the cover changes, Rob. You were wrong. And, we're going back to something more streamlined. Thank goodness.
See, okay. I'm fine with that, right? And let's talk about that. So
we'll change our
is more than
name
just
to
charging
Reform
back,
Guard.
right? Yeah. To many more situations that aren't just so it's an expanded counter charge, right? So yes, we're going to keep the name of the show so that in 10 years when you're not playing Kings of War, you'll still know that we are playing Kings of War and we've been here since the beginning. Right, Matt?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I love Snake Eyes. If there's no uncertainty, I mean, we have dice, so there's always some randomness. But I would say, Matt, the counter to that also though is if you got 30 attacks, how much randomness do you really have, right? You know what I mean? Like the more dice you throw, the less random, the more normal distribution you're going to get. So I love it, and I agreed with everybody here. I love the snake eyes. It's just that one little thing to make sure double snakes is a thing, right? It's you know what? Those are the stories you go away from the game with. So yeah, definitely line of sight and cover rules are updated. Great. I just remember, Matt, back in the day, we did an episode where we looked back at first edition. I don't want hard cover and soft cover and all that crap. Just give me cover. Just like Champions, there's cover. There's just cover.
Yeah, or really specific to type. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind that, but not tied to the type of unit, tied to the terrain.
Yeah,
you know,
and I should
like in Champions.
Yeah. So +1 for staying still. You know. And so +1 for staying still rather than a -1 for shooting, right? This is an interesting thing because I think that, let me say this out. You can tell me that I'm wrong. This feels like a stealth nerf on elves. And here's why I say that. So stealths, Glade Stalkers hit on 4s, but they have steady aim, I think, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. They can move and shoot without penalty. Now, I'm assuming they'll be hitting on 5s, but if they stand still, they can hit on 4s. But if they move, it's still 5s. So I think because that to me is always the feel bad moment that not only are you shooting but you're shooting and moving and shooting with a bow with impunity, right? Like that always doesn't make any sense. So you're backing away as I'm coming in.
Yeah, I've seen lots of chat about, this is such buff to shooting. But part of the problem with the shooting has been all the steady aim in the game because, with the +1 for staying still, as an opponent, you have the opportunity of using your movement, to change what they are doing and to stay away with it. But with all that steady aim, particularly with things like elves, moving 6 and still sitting 24, they're going to just, they can basically just chase you and keep shooting at their normal range stat. And I think the biggest change, though, in terms of not being a buff is the inability to be routed from shooting. It could be, but I think what we've found all this edition is that you end up with all these units that are either 4 or 5. 5 sucks, 4 is really good.
Yeah,
so I think it gives them ability to be a bit more granular in the shooting.
So let me ask you this. Do we think that the units hit on 5s will now hit on 4s? Because those are the units that typically were standing still anyways.
I think we'll see more of a mix than we did. I don't think we'll see like just say ranger style units being on 4s. Hopefully it'll become more thematic again.
I think what you said though about that last point is interesting. I don't know. I don't think it's the goblins, honestly. I think it's more the Glade Stalkers in that ilk. I mean, the goblins have shooting, but most of other than the trombones, right? Let me take a step back. There are war engines, right, that hit on 4s like the Maw Pup Launcher, but the Maw Pup Launcher has no piercing, right? And the Sharpstick Thrower takes cover, right? But it only has 2 attacks on 4s. The trombones are probably the ones that are pretty dirty with the 10 attacks, steady aim, and shooting on 4s with effectively a 17-inch threat range. So, but what I would say about goblin armies that have shooting, you can't go all shooting and make it work. You've got to have something there to protect the shooting and to get the tokens and all that. So I don't know, Matt, what your thoughts are. I'll ask to the folks that are watching. In terms of shooting, the ones that are most egregious. Now, let me say this. Yes, my goblin army has taken off a horde of berserkers in one turn, but they're not taking them off when they're devastated. They're way down below and I'm rolling a 7 or 8. Well, now to take them off, I've got to devastate them, which is probably, in all seriousness, it probably means I'm going to have to take less shooting and lean more into cavalry and more infantry stuff, more special characters and that ilk, because, I mean, like I said, I'm taking off units from time to time, but they're not ever, the damage is never really above their because I mean, what the berserkers are 16, 18 nerf?
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
that you'd have
I
to
know
do
they're
a
only
lot.
defense 4, right? But 18
Well,
damage is a
not
lot.
Not with Imp.
Well, yeah, that's a
With
whole
my
thing.
sacrificial
Don't
Imp.
get me started on Berserkers. The reality, though, if you take them in moderation, I don't have any problem playing. I play against 3 hordes 20 times in the last 4 weeks. Totally fine. All right, where are we going here? Oh yeah. I get it. No, to be fair though, I will say there are times where it feels very oppressive, and then there's times where the warlocks just take them off because the lightning bolt goes ping, 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 dead because 810 doesn't survive.
How's it
810
go?
What I Hey, where's your daughter for our sound effects, bro? Have her put on her shirt so she can join us. Yeah.
Exactly. I think it's a positive. I think it'll be a largely positive change. Yeah, I think this is the type of thing from Steve Evans that they're trying to stop, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So Paul has corrected it. It's pew pew. Okay. Or deca, 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 deca. That's my other one. Yeah. So that sounded more like something to come out of your mouth. Down under.
Yeah, I don't even know what that was, mate. Let's move on. Yeah.
I don't know if we have much left. I think. Let's see. What do I have left here? Oh wait, I'm just zoom out a little bit here. So the one thing that I did see is that Matt Gilbert did confirm we don't have legions by default. There's going to be some heroes that allow legions. Now, I have said 100 times on the podcast what my thoughts are on Legion. If you're taking a Legion, anything that can take out a horde in one go, like a couple of units, is going to take out the Legion for the most part. There's a couple exceptions. Bloodworms would be an exception, right? There are exceptions to that, but I would never take a Legion of Goblins because the nerve bump isn't worth the squeeze, right? The juice isn't worth the squeeze. So, agreed. I the shooting changes. I think it's great. Yeah. Well, sure. But they do have a whole forum called Deca Deca. And by the way, all those pictures came from Deca Deca, which So I think that's the end of our pictures, actually, Matt. I think that's it.
What do you think, rumor-wise, Rob? What do you think of armies coming or going rumors?
What I will say is I've read lots of comments, and one particular said, I think, what was the comment again? Let me look it up. We were just talking about it this morning, and I do want to make sure I quote the person.
So while you're trying to find that, one thing I will say is that.
Well, and by the way, we should say
Ronnie does not have a track record for accuracy.
Yes, fair enough. Yes, okay. Let's see if I can find the quote here. All right, where did it go? All right. So there's a quote that says...
so I would take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
I think if it goes on a slide like that, someone else has done it, so you can probably trust it.
So
don't trust what's coming in.
I will say that somebody said it sounds as though the deaths of certain factions were greatly exaggerated. I would say that post might not age well. I don't think we know. I think literally my impression, I don't have any knowledge of this, but I assume out of the gate, we're going to have all the armies. But there's subsequent books coming out. Things are going to change.
Yeah.
And
I think
what happens
Ronnie was clear that there's a plan for books, right? I think is part of the rumors that, we haven't put up on a slide. There's a plan for books. So basically there's a few years planned out. I did see that written somewhere else. And I would say that there's likely to be significant change, as it goes. Yeah.
We do have a comment from Kyle here.
I think the theme lists, as you know them, probably aren't likely to be anywhere near as well formed as perhaps what they were.
Yeah.
Legends.
Yeah, and for those that are wondering why Jeremy's not here, obviously he's a playtester and he's under NDA. So we didn't want to put him in the position of him just sitting silently and then you guys looking at him winking or blinking or whatever and taking that to convey that he has confirmed. Matt and I are not play testers, so we haven't seen the book. So this is all conjecture on our part for a little bit longer. It's a little conjecture for a little bit longer. So, but yes, we didn't kick him out. We didn't kick him out, but yeah. It'd be funny, Matt, is if Jeremy timing of this is perfect. We were just talking about the man. Well, Jeremy, you didn't get the certified mail? No. So we'll be back together again very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got Legend.
Yeah,
Legend did it.
I'm looking forward to our Matt and Alessio discussion next week.
Very much so. Very much so. And I'm chomping at the bit. I guess, Matt, what we need to do is we should probably put up a post. And I don't think we can promise we're going to we have very limited time with them. So I think we should put up a post asking for questions and just say we will pick some of these questions that we can find in the collections that we're questions that we're already asking. So
yeah, we'll just make sure that it's a question that our community can read. So that we know how much trouble they have with that.
Fair enough. So is that Crozier 1 or 2? Mini Crozier 1 or 2?
This is Mini Crozier 2.
And what's your name? Can she hear us? Or you have headphones on?
No, it's in my.
She can't hear you.
Yeah. This is Lucille. Lulu, can you say hi to Rob? No.
Is she a fan of which TV show is she a fan of?
Oh, what isn't she? Big Paw Patrol fan at the moment.
Yeah. Okay, Paw Patrol. Good.
Yeah.
Well, awesome, Matt.
Yeah.
Final thoughts. I know this was
I'm
kind
very
of
excited,
thing,
mate. I'm very excited. It's unfortunately though puts us in that window, right, of where it's hard to keep working on the stuff you've already got, because it's so imminent. So, like I said, hopefully Jeremy's got his paintbrush out as he's commenting there, because we know he wants to rub it in our faces by getting that army done.
You know what's funny though? He's got a built-in excuse now. He can go, I didn't want to paint because I don't know what's going to happen with my army. So
yeah, true.
It's built in. It's built in. So.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. It just puts a little bit of a, particularly because one of the things I was going to do for my last point for the hobby challenge was I was going to put some Bacelian chariots on, but now I'm like, chariots have been such a problem across editions. We love you too, big guy. Is that I just don't know whether to do it. So we'll see.
I get it. This comment's pretty apropos, right? Whatever you're coming up to an edition change, it sort of on one hand invigorates the thought of what's coming, but at the same time puts us in a state of fear of what's not going to be here that we already have, and sort of halts our progress, makes us really second guess everything. So
which is exactly that's a great idea, Josh.
Great point from Josh. Yeah. By the way, we owed you. So I'll be honest with you, man. I am behind. The job change has screwed me up. We are supposed to get Josh on since Adepticon. That's March. So that is 6 months I'm behind. So Josh, I'll be reaching out.
Well, his little comment there was maybe meant to remind you of his existence.
Well, it did. It worked. It definitely worked. It definitely worked. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's which is kind of, this is that Hobby No Man's Land is exactly why I was saying it makes sense for Mantic not to announce too far ahead, right? This is what I was saying in previous shows. People going, oh, give us the plan. No, because when you get the plan, everyone goes, brakes on. We're not going to change a thing.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Is there anything you wanted to touch on we didn't touch on?
I don't think so. My only advice for everyone in the next month or so is avoid fanatics. If you don't want your brain to turn to mush,
bring up
come
a very
to land of reasonably.
Yeah, I just right now, come to the counter charge. This morning I did, as I was walking the dog, I looked at the fanatics page, and it's just what you expect. Some people are very reasonable, but there's a couple people that are they're insane, right? And it's just, Josh brings up another good point that, paint champion stuff right now, that's not going anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a good point. Garth from a
Garth, yeah.
Wayne's World quote.
I can't. Can you do a Garth impression?
I'm not going to try a Garth impression.
Like the sweet.
But
I can't do that either. But
yeah. I'm certainly getting a lot of itch when I read through there.
When you stand up or what?
Yeah, no. Oh, just at night time. But you know, reading fanatics. So I have to strap the old thumbs to the other fingers so I can't type on my phone.
Is that Flozy? What is that?
No, that was still Lula.
Yeah. Oh, Lula. Where's the other one?
Yeah, hiding. Actually, she's probably
now
just
you're literally in the outback
Minecraft.
There, right? Because is that like an awning above your head?
That's an awning. So this is just the little house, but then see that cubby house in the back. Pretty nice. So is that? So you get roofs and stuff.
By the way, for those that are thinking it, it's true. We pay Matt too much money. Look at that. He's living the life of luxury over there.
Pay me too much money, mate. I keep this StreamYard afloat.
For sure. Yeah. and podcasts from the nowhere zone, right? Like in the middle of nowhere.
True. I am going to get a new mic, actually. I'm going to upgrade from the Blue Yeti, I reckon.
Oh, you're going to go with an XLR mic or what? Uh-huh. You're thinking like a Shure or what?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Yeah, whatever. The one that's got the number 7 in it. DX7 or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. The mission.
Yes.
It's here. It's
by the way,
for you, Jeremy.
We need someone. Look, if anybody's out there that has a talent for sculpting in 3D that could do something like this for the golden didgeridoo, please let us know. We would love to get a trophy made.
Oh yeah, this is yeah. And if you're wanting to know about the quest for the golden didgeridoo, you have to listen to the last Fireside where we talked about you know what a countercharge event might look like.
That's right, the golden didgeridoo. Well, all right. I think we in classic fashion we've over rambled. So, does she want to take us out and say goodbye?
Do you want to say goodbye? Do you want to say until next time? Keep countercharging. No.
You scared her away. She's like a kookaburra. You point the camera and then they run away, right? Yeah. All right. Well, guys, it's been great. We have a lot more coming. Get ready. Look for a post asking for questions. And until next time, keep countercharging.